Hello there, Amazon.com. It's me, Bo Shebasu, and today we are playing Pac-Man off of this little guy. Oh no, it looks like we're gonna die. Oh, he got us, didn't we? Okay, what in the world is going on here? We're gonna go ahead and escape out of this guy. Oh, go away. Well, when in doubt, just use the remote control that hit home, and now we are home. So this little projector is what we're taking a look at right now. It's about the same size as a plus size iPhone. And do note that the keyboard does not actually come with it. The only things that truly come with this is, well, the projector obviously, remote control as you just saw, power, and the tripod. And that is pretty much it. It depends really on what your use is. Are you hooking up your computer to this using an HDMI port? Or are you loading movies onto a small little micro SD card and taking this on the road for your kids to watch in the car? Speaking of, I did hook this up to my Wi-Fi and I'm able to watch Netflix on here. And so the navigation of this is fairly easy. So as you can see, if I were to go to the right, it just goes to the right like so. And then to the left like that. If ever you get kind of confused, you can just hit this mouse button, and then that basically activates the mouse. And then, where's the mouse? You can't quite see it very well on my wall. Up there it is. It's floating right over Netflix right there. And basically what I'm doing is you have to click it like this to move the mouse around. So a little hint, tip, trick when you first get this thing, definitely hook this up to a keyboard. Keyboards make it so much easier to type things in instead of going along selecting B and then E and then A and then U on the on-screen keyboard. That is absolute trash and it's going to take you forever to set up. So definitely hook this up using their USB port, and also recommended is if you actually have a USB hub, hook up a mouse and a keyboard to this thing and just spend a good 30 or 45 minutes updating all the apps, getting it all tuned up. And then once you're at that point, then you can pretty much take it on the road. Besides, you have to charge it anyway. The battery life, honestly, well, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you right here. So we're gonna click the mouse button so that we can actually select it here. Gonna go into settings. It's basically an Android system. So as you can see over on the left-hand side, we have our Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and actually we're gonna go all the way down to accessibility, about device. And then at that point you can see all your system updates and update things. Just make sure that you are actually updated. And then if we were to go over to storage, just for giggles, I just wanted to show you. So although it does come with some memory, I would recommend picking up a micro SD card and putting it in there to expand your memory. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of this guy. By the way, this is just a down and dirty little demonstration of whether or not this thing does work. This is not like a full-blown tutorial, what you need to do. I've just been kind of playing around with it, and that's exactly what you need to do. I downloaded Pac-Man, I got into Netflix. The audio on this is not the greatest. I'd say if one person was sitting next to it and then the other person was over here, they'd be able to hear it fairly well, but this is not loud enough to fill an entire room. Speaking of, if you are using this for business type presentations, you will need to turn down the lights fairly low. So as you can see, my lights are not on in here and it's somewhat low light. This is not going to show up very well if you're in a brightly lit room. So if we're going to go ahead and show you right there, it gets somewhat dim, especially if you're trying to make out text. Oh, and Lucy's closing that. Thank you so much, darling. Let's go ahead and show you what we can do if we were to project it all the way over there. See how kind of light it is? And on this side right over here, there's a little turning knob. And when you rotate that, it focuses the image. So let's go ahead and zoom in. You'll see that it's kind of fuzzy over there. And yet when we rotate, right, there we go. And now it's relatively sharp. But as you can see, even with the light streaming into the room, wait, still focusing. There we go. Even though with the light streaming into the room, it's, yeah, I mean, that's to be expected. Honestly, I'm not expecting a giant light bulb in there or one of those super expensive laser projectors. But anyway, that's, oh, thank you, Lucy. You're so kind. And hey, now we can see it a lot better. That's pretty cool. One other fun little thing that I've been wanting to do is with a projector. And I know this is kind of a silly thing, but it just kind of shows you the versatility of this projector. Lucy, can you go ahead and turn the lights back on, please? Thank you, darling. And the versatility involves, well, this little guy on the very bottom. You will see that the tripod has a little groove which is right on the back. And that actually allows us to tip this thing. And so now that it is straight up, we can actually lay in bed and watch Netflix on the ceiling with this thing between us. How cool is that? So yeah, connect it to your Wi-Fi, plug it in, and set it between you, and you and your spouse can watch Netflix on the ceiling. How neat is that? Like a giant flat screen TV projected on your ceiling. Anyway, the possibilities are endless with this little projector. I absolutely love it. It's small enough to travel with, lightweight enough. Just be sure to take a lot of time to set it up with a keyboard and a mouse so that you're not on the road or in the middle of a presentation trying to update software or anything ridiculous like that. Overall, 5 out of 5 stars. I hope that this down and dirty little demonstration of this tiny little projector is helpful in determining whether or not this is the right projector for you. My name is Bo Shevesu. I look forward to testing and reviewing more fun things here on Amazon.com.